kids. Get your free ice cream. Free ice cream. Hi there, boys and girls. They should know there's no such thing as a free ice cream. Give me a dozen full body scans. Come on, kids. Get your ice cream. I already know your favorite flavors. Now hold still while we collect some of your secrets. And if there's anything you don't want anyone to know, well, you shouldn't be doing it in the first place. Remember, kids, you can't believe everything your parents say about privacy. Timmy, does Mommy know that Daddy spends his whole workday surfing sports websites? How about you, Susie? I bet your daddy doesn't know Mommy's been Googling old boyfriends again. Now, kids, I want to share our newest invention. With these Google Y-Spy glasses, I can see everything. Hey, there he is again! Get him! Oops, time to go, kids. Remember, we put the ogle in Google. Call your member of Congress and ask them to establish a Do Not Track Me list today.
More now of our special coverage here tonight, life in the U.S. in 10 years' time. By that time, there may be all kinds of new ways to safeguard and identify all those things that make each of us unique, our faces, even our fingerprints, even our eyes. Here now with more on the future of technology, NBC's Tom Costello.
The year is 2017. You're rushed to a hospital unconscious with no ID or medical history, but thanks to a microchip under your skin, it's all there. Science fiction 20 years ago, but a biometric reality today.
The technology is based on answering one simple question. Am I who I say I am?
Already, fingerprints and iris scans verify passenger identities at airports. Within 10 years, that technology may be even more widespread. And look for more complex facial recognition programs that scan a crowd of thousands looking for a single terrorist. Today's facial recognition software starts with the eyes. Then it maps out the contours of the face and compares that against a database of millions, a database that's growing by the day. What's next? At the University of Bath in England, researchers predict big changes for consumers.
I think it is possible to free us completely of our wallets and keys using biometric technology, if that's what people want in 10 years' time.
In fact, it's already here. The latest home security locks use fingerprints to control deadbolts. And at the Jewel Osco grocery store in Chicago, some customers pay using their fingerprints. No paper or plastic.
You don't really need anything other than your hand, and you already got that with you.
So will future department stores scan our irises, like in the movie Minority Report, then offer products catered to who we are?
Hello, Mr. Yakamoto. Welcome back to the gas.
Experts say that technology is here now. The challenge is to safeguard our privacy in a brave new world. Tom Costello, NBC.
When the card is read in real time, it's delivering back to the school the student's name, first and last name, an exact location, and a time and date stamp. What that allows for is real-time visibility for the children. So it's really picking up in terms of the safety precautions and everything that we want to do in terms of tracking our children out there. There's about 26 districts out there that have taken on this type of technology, 2 in the state of Illinois, which we're very proud to say here in our association with Palos Heights and also with Cook, Illinois, we've implemented here as well.
And for about 3 years, we've been putting GPS technology on our buses to track the buses themselves, but now we're able to track the children, or the school district is able to track the children as they get on and off the school buses. So we're very happy to work with District 128 on doing this, and it's just another safety measure, and we couldn't be happier about it.
The total cost for the installation of all the equipment on 10 of our buses was $16,000. It is a one-time cost for the reader systems and for the ZPass, and we are hoping to recoup probably 50% of that when we submit our claim to the state of Illinois for our transportation reimbursement. It was a very small amount of money that my Board of Education and I felt, a very small cost that would allow us to give an added measure of
Hello everyone, welcome to Global Government News. Today is September 4th, 2010, and I'm Darko. Welcome to this Big Brother news segment. Just some pretty crazy stuff that you just heard there, but if you are aware of basically what's going on, if you follow my videos, if you follow anybody's videos that have been talking about this stuff, and if you've done your own research, you know that this is all done by design. It's done incrementally by stages, and so that if you have any disagreement with it, especially if you're a parent, you're basically a conspiracy theorist, whack job, tinfoil hat wearing. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear, and what's wrong with it? Basically, a typical fascist type mentality. And of course, it's cost cutting and it's low budget, and we're going to get all these grants from the federal government, so it's not going to cost you a dime. And then of course, what they said. Did you hear what that guy said? He said first we were tracking the buses, but see, we went directly to the children. Now we just track the children directly. And then you saw in the first video we were talking about RFID chips, where the individual was saying, this technology is available, and it just depends on whether the public accepts it. Well, I'm not like I said before, I'm not a psychic. I don't look into a crystal ball. I just know humanity, and I know the people around me, and I know the people running the planet. And this has been in the works for at least 50 to 70 years. The technology's been around for at least 50 years. And the only reason they haven't done it before is because there was more people that were upset with this, and no chance in hell would allow this to happen. But over, like I said, incrementally over generations of brainwashing through the education system. If you try to fight the education system, well, you'll help CPS your children. But over years and years, they've gotten people acclimated to being slaves and treated like slaves. Because like I said, if you disagree with this, well then you have something to hide, like the Google video said, or you're a terrorist. And so in this quote brave new world that they like to use, that little euphemism like it's a big joke, while some people don't even go to the airports anymore because of how ridiculous the security has become, we have to live with this crap. And so we just keep moving forward. Like I said, I don't have a crystal ball. I already know that the public will accept it, because whether they like it or not, it will come. The next article I need to cover now is billboards that can see you. Japan pioneers use of cameras, sensors that let signs identify their audience. And you see how they were showing you a Minority Report, right? And that's the big thing. The media is owned by the establishment, the elites, the powers that be, whatever. And that's how they incrementally condition and get the slaves to accept it. They show you in the movies what they have and what they will be offering. So they were showing you that I don't know when Minority Report was out, but it was probably about a good 4 years ago. And so now it's a reality. I mean, it's actually out there in billboards now. They're testing the public, and that's what they do. They test it, and that's what they're doing with these districts. So this next one is Google settles privacy lawsuit for $8.5 million. Google Incorporated has agreed to pay $8.5 million to settle a private class action lawsuit that alleged its Buzz social networking service violated users' privacy, according to court documents filed on Friday. Most of the money will help fund organizations focused on internet privacy policy or privacy education, with slightly over $2 million going to plaintiffs' attorneys. Said 7 users of Google's email service called Gmail had alleged the company violated privacy law in February by exposing their email contacts to the users of Google Buzz, which is built into Gmail and borrows elements of Twitter and Facebook by allowing users to basically share. The next one is basically the same thing. Google faces Texas AG inquiry and settles privacy lawsuit. Next article up is U.S. and Israeli spying behind BlackBerry woe. Dubai police concerns over Israeli access to BlackBerry data and the use of the device by the United States to spy on the United Arab Emirates are behind the Gulf states' moves to curb the smartphone. And I wasn't exactly sure why these countries were making such measures. I think it's like that in India as well. I thought it was because the governments themselves wanted to spy on their citizens, but it's saying here that's because of the Israelis and the West intelligence agencies doing the spying. And yeah, like, so if there's anyone that knows or is into 9/11, I'm not really into 9/11, but I am aware of some of the facts. And one of the facts is that Israel was involved with collecting many phone calls. Most of the spying that goes on with in regards to wiretapping, all that data goes into a database. And you know who controls that database? An Israeli company. So, and it says here, UN steps into BlackBerry debate. Firms will just have to get used to it. The Secretary General of the International Telecommunications Union has stepped into the lawful interception debate, saying that companies are just going to have to provide governments with access somehow. In an interview with the AP, Hamadou Tour said the governments had the right to demand access to communications and that the companies would have to just find a way in which to provide it. So there you go. Like I said, right? You just deal with it, people. If you don't like it, you deal with it. If you don't want your children to be vaccinated and chipped, don't have children, right? If you don't want to be going through if you want to be treated like a slave and have to go through the body scanners and be patted down and frisked, now they have a full-on frisk. They changed the frisk policy, so now that it's an open face or whatever, palm face or something like that. The wands and everything else, well, then you don't fly. So basically, you'll just be a hermit like me. The next one is China requires ID to buy mobile phone numbers. China wants people to buy new cell phone numbers to register their personal details, joining many European and Asian countries in curbing the anonymous use of mobile technology. Most countries that have such rules say they prevent the use of unregistered phones in terror attacks, here we go, or drug crimes. And we know that the government is the biggest sponsor of terror attacks, and the government also brings in most of the drugs. So I'm not really feeling too threatened by either of those. In China, authorities say that they have their sights on rampant junk messages, but some believe the move gives the government a new tool for monitoring its citizens. And of course, they always say, what? Some, because that means what? That implies what? A minority. German government poo-poos biometric ID card hack. They always have crazy titles in the London Register. It says German hackers successfully used off-the-shelf kits to extract personal data from the federal government's supposedly secure ID cards, but the government has downplayed the significance of the attack. And most likely, I joke about this with my buddy, they'll go ahead and recruit that individual and pay him more than he's getting to come work for him. The biometric ID cards store a scan of the user's fingerprints along with a 6-digit PIN that can be used to digitally sign the official forms. And I just want to throw out there for any people that are hackers or people that are into this stuff, if you do things that bring information to enlighten people, I salute you. So the next article is Secretary Napolitano announces expansion of, quote, "If you see something, say something" campaign in the new information sharing partnership in Tennessee. And I believe they did this in the Southwest District. Now this is in the Southern and Southeast District of the United States. It says meets with Tennessee emergency management officials to discuss ongoing recovery efforts following the recent flooding. So it says Department of Homeland Security, Napolitano today traveled to Nashville to announce the launch of the federal government's collaboration with Southern Shield, a consortium of state homeland security and law enforcement officials from 14 southeastern states and territories as part of the National Suspicious Activity Reporting, or SAR, initiative, as well as the expansion of If You See Something, Say Something campaign to, here we go, fusion centers across the southeast. So, people that say fusion centers don't exist, well then here, you might want to go to a little website called www.dhs.gov. In fact, it's Homeland Security's own website where they're referring to these fusion centers. So, and I always seem to have so much technical problems when I deal with Big Brother in here. And so here we go. CIA money behind Wi-Fi positioning system. That's right. The CIA is behind the Wi-Fi positioning system. And it's funny because my internet has been disrupted for about the past 3 weeks. And we called in, and all of a sudden it got fast right away, and then all of a sudden it's back to being slow. Thank you for joining me, everyone.